What's going on, guys? If you know me, you know that there's two things that I just can't seem to find perfect versions of. The first is a travel photography backpack, and the second is a gimbal. Gimbals, as a travel vlogger, travel videographer, have just caused me so much stress. And I just can't find the right one, or I haven't found the right one up to yet. At first, I was using the Zhiyun Crane 2 Plus, which was really good. I enjoyed it. Although, once I upgraded to the R, it just didn't seem to hold it properly. So in Cape Town, you might remember I bought the Ronin S, which was phenomenal. To be honest, the Ronin S is such a good gimbal. It's really high quality, it's really well made, but man, is it heavy. And as a vlogger, as someone who's traveling and has to pack it around, it just wasn't viable. If I was in like a house and I had a house and my job was to shoot B-roll or as a filmmaker, I would use it like crazy. But when you're like holding it out like this, filming yourself, it's heavy and it gets a little bit heavy. So I didn't tell you guys this, but in Singapore, I actually bought a new gimbal. I bought this one, the Zhiyun Weebill. And the Weebill was great. It really is a really well-designed product. It fits a lot of needs for a travel photographer. It's small, it's light, it has a really good load capacity. But something about it just drives me crazy. And there's little bits and pieces that you use every single time when you're out in the field, and they're bits and pieces that should be really good quality, and they're not. These screws that you have to open and close to loosen the moving parts when you change lenses or you need to balance it or whatever, 3 of them have stripped on me in a month. And in fact, 2 of them have like just loosened magically and fallen off. And of course, in the package, there's no replacement. I got a hold of Zhiyun and I said, guys, I need a replacement screw or 3, expecting them to say, sure, we'll just shoot you off some. And they said, yeah, no problem. It's going to be $15 plus shipping for each screw. And believe me, if they were $15 per piece, they wouldn't strip and fail so easy. So that stuff just grinds my gears. One, when a really good product just has some things that they do that cut corners to make it cheap and really not reliable. And 2, when they try to gouge you on prices to fix their own errors. So it's honestly put me off so much. So again, I'm on to another gimbal. And I need to disclose this. This brand reached out to me recently and said, hey, we want you to test this gimbal. But I'll also disclose that they didn't pay me. I'm not being paid for this review, but I didn't pay for this product, and I like not having to pay for things. This is the Feiyu AK2000. And the Feiyu AK2000 is Feiyu's second biggest gimbal. They make smartphone gimbals and GoPro gimbals and stuff like that. They also make a gimbal that's the AK4000, which is for full frame like DSLRs. This one has a really good load capacity for heavier mirrorless cameras. So they were kind enough to send me one to test out, and that's what this episode's going to be about. I haven't opened it, I haven't looked at it, and I'm going to do that right now. And then after I do this, I'm going to take you out into the field, and we're going to be out in the field with this, taking pictures or doing whatever. We'll figure that out later. So let's open this box, see what's inside. Little snaps like a briefcase. I'm expecting to open this and there'll be like $1 million. But instead, it's the gimbal. And it looks like batteries. That battery charger is kind of massive. It takes 4 batteries, it looks like. It's got a mini tripod. For me, this is like an absolute must on a gimbal. They need these mini tripods on the bottom because so often I'm like out in the field and I just set the gimbal up somewhere to film myself in the background. So huge. Yeah, quality looks good. This is the quick release. And then this is the gimbal. And the gimbal is, wow, it feels really, really well built. It definitely feels sturdier than the Weebill. It's a little bit heavier, at least to the feel, than the Weebill, but it feels like the build quality is much better. It feels stronger. It's not plasticky. It's very metallic. Let me throw this on my camera quick, and you know what? I'm not going to balance it. If you want videos on how to balance it, I'm sure there's 100 videos on YouTube on how to balance it. That's not what I do. Let's instead take this out into the field and let's go make some videos and some photos. So it's day 3 of my time up here at Lake O'Hara, and all the footage I've been filming over the past bunch of days is on this this Feiyu gimbal, which I've liked, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, but I want to talk about my time here at Lake O'Hara because it was a little bit frustrating. I couldn't find compositions I really liked. The weather was almost too good. Well, it was definitely too good. It was just blue skies the whole time, and a lot of places that I wanted to get to I couldn't just because of high snowpack. Even when I got to a really cool place yesterday, when I left, I ended up falling about chest deep into some really wet snow, and I actually got like cemented in. I was in for like 20 minutes digging my way out. So if you've been watching this series, you've seen the struggles a little bit. And this morning I decided to just like wake up just after sunrise, no tripod, no vlogging camera, just a 100 to 400, and just go for a walk and just kind of enjoy the moment and not worry about a photo. And I think in the end I made a photo that's pretty simple. But it's like a really nice composition. So I don't think this trip was a bust by any stretch of the imagination. It was an amazing experience. It was so good to just get off the grid here and relax. And yeah, I've absolutely loved it. So I want to talk more about the gimbal today. So I'm gonna cruise down to the lake, talk about the things I like about it, and then I'm gonna walk the 11 kilometers out of here and maybe talk about some of the things that I don't like about it. I think this video is turning into a Weebill Lab versus the AK2000 video, and it's just because I can't stop comparing the two. They're in the similar class. They're both for like heavy mirrorless cameras or light DSLRs, and yeah, they're very different, very different. So I want to talk now really quick about the things I like and some of the features about the AK2000. The AK2000, it's durable. It at least seems like it. The build quality seems phenomenal. I haven't had any issues with things coming loose. I don't feel like I can break it. And for me, since I use gear so hard, that's something that's really important to me. In fact, that might be the most important thing. It's one of the big reasons why I've stuck with Canon all these years, is because I really trust the gear to last and to be tough. I really trust this to be tough. It also balances really easily. I had no trouble balancing any of my lenses. This is the 17 to 40. I balanced the 24 to 70 as well, which is really heavy. And switching between lenses hasn't been an issue. It's been a really quick process. On the Weebill Lab, it was a pain. In fact, most of my lenses actually didn't balance properly on the Weebill Lab. Even my 16 to 35 doesn't balance properly. It's too front heavy. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying with the Weebill Lab. I don't know how they messed that up. I'm gonna turn this on. There's just a power button at the back, and you've got 4 modes, which is cool. This is mode 1, this is HF, and that basically keeps the horizon straight, but allows you to twist side to side. So I think I use this mode the most. This is how I film. Second mode is TF, and this mode goes, keeps the horizon straight, as you see, but it also tips up and down. The next mode is AF, and this twists whichever way you want. So this would be really cool for like action sports and stuff like that, where you're following somebody or chasing a skateboarder or a snowboarder or something like that. And then lock mode. And lock mode just stays locked, stays straight forward no matter what you do with the handle. And then a cool feature this has that the Ronin S also had, it has a trigger on the front, so when you're in lock mode like this, you can just push the trigger and it'll switch into HF mode. So you can be locked on something and then push the trigger and turn, which is awesome. There's also this really cool wheel, and this wheel can manipulate things up or down, or you can change the setting and it can go side to side, or you can change it and it'll actually tilt as well. You also have the touch screen, and the touch screen is pretty fantastic. I was getting really annoyed with it the first day I was shooting because I kept touching it and manipulating things without wanting to, but I realize now that there's a button on the side that you can push and it locks that touch screen, and then you just push it again and it unlocks it. So yeah, pretty sweet. I'm actually pretty stoked with the gimbal. There are some features that I wish it had that the Weebill Lab has, and so I guess as we hike down back to the car park, I'll talk about those things. Okay guys, I'm back from my adventures at Lake O'Hara with the Feiyu AK2000, and I kind of want to talk about the things that I wish were different. And I know, yeah, this video's turned into a comparison between the Weebill and the Feiyu AK2000, just because when you use them both and they're both doing similar tasks, it's pretty obvious to start comparing them. And I have to say this, if the Zhiyun Weebill was the exact same quality build as the Feiyu AK2000, I think I'd use the Weebill. But as somebody who's out shooting video basically every single day, I need kit that I can rely on, and I can't rely on the Weebill. However, as I was using the Feiyu, and as I've been using the Feiyu for a little while, there's little bits of innovation that I wish existed in it that are in the Weebill. For example, look at how much taller the Feiyu is to the Zhiyun. The Weebill is tiny because they put the batteries in this little pouch here, whereas the batteries on the Feiyu are down here, so it makes it really long. And it's actually a really comfortable hold on the Weebill with the battery back that way. It just seems to balance better, at least in the hand. The other thing I really loved about the Weebill was that there's actually a quick release to the quick release, if that makes sense. So on a gimbal, you slide in the quick release for the gimbal into this piece up top and you adjust it there. Well, on the Weebill, the quick release has another quick release within it that you can pop out. And that's phenomenal because if you're using your camera on your gimbal and then you want to put it on a tripod, you can quickly just pop it out, set it on your tripod, shoot something on your tripod, quickly pop it back in and carry on with your life. So it's a really, really, really good piece of innovation. Those are two pieces of innovation I absolutely love. It's not all perfect with the Feiyu. I will tell you that I have to choose between the two. I can't travel with both. And at the end of the day, I need something I can rely on. I need something that I know is not going to break down on me. And so at the end of the day, as much as I love the innovation of the Weebill, I just can't get over the fact how cheaply it's made and how many things have fallen apart in such a short period of time. So the Weebill's gone, and I'll be using the AK2000 until another gimbal comes around that somehow, potentially, and hopefully does both innovation and quality at the same time, and I honestly don't understand why that's so hard to do. So that's it for this video. I know that there's been a lot of reviews lately. I think this is the last review you'll see for a while. Back in the field pretty soon. There might be one more Canada video. There's going to be an Italy video, I think, and then on to Montenegro and back up to Norway for some photography. So I'll see you guys there. Peace.